Morning Tea with Black Westchester's Damon K. Jones, where life, culture, community, and faith come together.
Peace and blessings, everybody. What's happening? What's happening? Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning, man. Whoa. Uh-oh. Technical difficulties. Technical difficulties. Peace and blessings, everybody. I'm having some technical difficulties here, but we're going to work it out. Yeah, man. It happens. Peace and blessings, everybody. Everybody that's watching, man, I apologize for that. How is everybody doing? How is everybody doing? I'm hoping everybody had a great weekend, man. We're just here. It's the morning tea. And of course, I got my cup of black excellence. Friday morning, I got my cup of black excellence, and peace and blessings to everyone that is watching. I really just come on at the end of the week and talk about what's going on. Check out our show Sunday at 8. We're going to have a great show on Sunday, and Monday we're going to have former Congressman Jamal Bowman will be on the show. Former Congressman Jamal Bowman will be on the show. And next Wednesday, for health and wellness, Wednesdays, we're gonna have Dr. Cedric on. We're gonna have Dr. Cedric on to discuss the Robert F. Kennedy hearings, because there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things that came up. I'm sorry. There's a lot of things that came up within this discussion about health, and if people know, white America gets sick, Black America catches the flu, right? So we understand that, and we need to really get through the noise of the conversation and literally understand what's happening with our health system. So, I'm bringing Dr. Cedric on, who wrote a book called The Health Advocate: How You Could Have a Healthy Life. And I think people need to watch that. We're gonna have a great discussion, man. Outside of the snippets, that they show on TV, we have to have a real discussion of what's actually was discussed and what was not discussed. And what's crazy and what's really crazy, brothers and sisters, is that the ones that were really attacking him was on Big Pharma and Big Health, the health mafia payroll. I've always said, if you want to know who a politician is loyal to, white, black, yellow, green, look who donates to their campaign. I want to say this again for those who didn't hear me. If you want to know who a politician is really loyal to, look at who donates to their campaign. It's really not hard. You know, we are under the conclusion that they're loyal to us, but we barely donate to campaigns. And that's a discussion I would like to play one day of one of our elders when he said we have to buy our politicians like everyone else, but we don't. And if we can't buy them, we need to rent them. Because that's the only way you're going to get legislations and laws and policies that will actually affect black communities throughout the nation. Is you have to own your politicians like every other ethnic group does in America, except us. Except us. So definitely, brothers and sisters, check out Black Westchester magazine, all online. I always gotta big up. Always gotta big up our paper. Me and my brother AJ, we're trying to give y'all the news with the black point of view. We're trying to do our best. We've been doing this for 10 years, man, and sometimes people will tell you it ain't easy. It's not easy to be an independent newspaper. You know, so check it out. We have Westchester County Police Civil Service examinations coming up in May. The deadline is February 24th. You know, young brothers and sisters, man, I'm telling y'all now, y'all need to take the test. Oh, I don't want to be a cop. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. Ain't no jobs out here. Ain't no jobs out here. Let me tell you something. I did 33 years in the Department of Corrections. Law enforcement is recession-proof. I don't think y'all actually heard what I said. Law enforcement is a recession-proof job. Ain't no recession in law enforcement. None at all. No recession in law enforcement. You always getting a check. It's always overtime. You always making money. And people are like, oh, you know, I got to sell my soul to the white man. You don't have to sell your soul to the white man. You just have to pass the test. That's it. You could be your black self. You could be your black self. The problem is, you know, you have a few that once they get in, they forget they black. Because they get that badge and they feel they have a certain amount of power. And they actually forget that they're black. But that doesn't have to be you. You understand what I'm saying? That doesn't have to be you. I stayed my black self for 33 years. So definitely take the test. Go on, take the test. Take the test. I think Westchester County Police makes about 140,000. Are you crazy? Are you crazy? You're gonna turn down 140, especially if you're a good test taker. If you're a good test taker, you could go right up the ranks. You don't have to be smart. You don't have to be smart at all to be in law enforcement. You just have to be a good test taker. Being a good test taker doesn't mean that you're smart. Because I'm telling you, the way the black community needs police is a lot of dumb people running these police departments. They just took a test. They just took a test. So take the test, make the money, carry a gun. And you can carry a gun legally. And Westchester County Police is one of the highest paid police departments in the county. So why wouldn't you want to do that? You want to remain struggling? Working at Walmart? With your college degree? And then you want to get mad and talking about you don't want to take no police test? Come on, man. Y'all bugging. Y'all bugging. And you get a pension? And you get a pension. Civil service is one of the only jobs left that you could work for 20 years and then get a check for the rest of your life. Every month. For the rest of your life. Every month. You just wake up, and then your job is just to stay alive, stay healthy. And then when you turn 62, God willing, you get your little Social Security check, and you're living okay. And you're living okay. It's a recession-proof job. Law enforcement is a recession-proof job. You will never get laid off. Now, you might get fired if you don't do right, but you will never get laid off. So, we need more young people, and we need some of y'all ignorant parents stop telling your children not to take these tests. Like, I don't understand what is wrong with some of y'all. I really don't. I don't understand what is wrong with some of y'all. We definitely need it. Oh man, how does this work? So definitely check that out. I'm trying to get back to. I done messed around with this. This is crazy. Okay. All right, so check that out. Yonkers, what else is here? Yonkers Mayor Mike Spano endorses County Exec King Jenkins for the upcoming special election. February 11th, those who live in Westchester. February 11th. So hopefully, Jesus, what's today's date, man? This is the 31st. We're going to try to get King Jenkins on before February 11th. God willing. God willing. So check that article out. He's making history. Well, he already made history. He's the first black county exec in the history of Westchester County. So check out that article. Also, everybody's talking about DEI. But nobody's talking about the failure of DEI. So it's the DEI is diversity, equity, and inclusion, right? So it's supposed to correct systematic inequalities. But after 50 years, DEI has actually failed Black communities. And it reinforced the white power structure. Why? Why? Because there's a study that found that 63% of DEI leadership went to white women. It went to white women. So when we were supposed to benefit from DEI, and listen, I'm not mad at that, but we're just pointing it out because when we have Black leadership pushing a program that literally didn't really benefit Black people, I have a problem with that. I have a problem with that. So for the last 50 years, DEI programs have overwhelmingly benefited white women, gaining them the highest increase in income, executive positions, and economic mobility. And at the same time DEI was in place, the racial wealth gap for Black Americans had barely moved, and in many cases it widened. So we really have to have a conversation. So why are they pushing DEI so much? If under DEI, the Black and white wealth gap widened. Who's paying these Black leaders to push DEI? Instead of pushing, we have to take our $1.5 trillion of economic spending power that we spend every year as Black people and as Martin Luther King said, we have to start redirecting the pain. People like to celebrate Martin Luther King. They like to quote Martin Luther King, but they don't like to put his actions in place when he said redirecting the pain. Shifting our spending power. We could get anything we want as Black people, we could get it overnight if we just had some unity. We just stop buying. Imagine $1.5 trillion pulled out of the economy for 6 months. Just imagine that. But I don't think that we are willing to do that. Because they will tell us immediately not to do that. And that's where everything will go wrong. Because we are told not to do it. So check that article out. And let's see what else we got here. Big shout out to Mount Vernon, Clarence, Divine. McClin is a 2025 Oscar nominee for Best Adapted Screenplay for Sing Sing, the movie. And I have to be honest, I've been meaning to watch that play, watch the movie, because they got my brother in it, who's a great actor, and he should be commended for the work that he has done, man. So big shout out to Mount Vernon's own, Westchester's own, and he should be commended for everything that he does, man. And we need to. And if you haven't seen it, I haven't seen it yet. I'm not sure if it's on. Let me check the article. Oh man, so they came on. I didn't even know they came on. So that must have been an interview with my partner AJ. So you could go to Black Westchester on YouTube and we just going through some articles that's on the thing. And this is what we're going to talk about with Dr. Cedric. Is it political theater versus public health? And what the Kennedy hearing reveals about America's broken healthcare system. So y'all can read that article. And we have to do something. And as Black people, man, we are at the bottom of health statistics. You know, we just have to keep it real and keep it 100, man. We are at the bottom of health statistics. So, and then I'm going to pull up all the people that was critical of Kennedy and how much money they've been getting from. We're going to do it on Wellness Wednesday so we can have a real discussion. It's going to give me a couple of days to pull up everything and to verify stuff that was already online about the money that people get. But there was an exchange between Bernie Sanders and Kennedy, and Kennedy called him out for getting money from Big Pharma, getting money from the big medical, and Bernie Sanders denied it, but you know, people looked it up on Open Secrets, and he got money. He got a lot of money. He got like $5 million. You know, and that's why I always say, if you want to know who, I'll probably say it throughout this, if we come back to politics with these other articles, if you want to know who your politician is working for, just look at who donated to him. Just look at who donated to him, and then you'll see. Big shout out to Brother James Henderson III, elected president of Portchester Rye Branch NAACP. Give him a big round of applause. That's another article you could read. NAACP, always doing good work. And congratulations, good brother, that you're going to be heading the NAACP. We still have a lot of work to do. We still have a lot of work to do. Also, the past and the future. Take a moment to talk. I want to take a moment to talk about this. So there's a project in Mount Vernon. These Black developers from Mount Vernon, they have been doing work in the community for years. They've been working with children, setting up their own courses, STEM technology, advanced technology training. They have a program called Strain the Drain, I think. Don't Strain Your Drain campaign. right? And our interview with the children is on YouTube and it's in this article. And I want people to watch these children, how intelligent these children are. How intelligent these children are. And they've been working with these children. So they have put a proposal for the Y. The Y that's been closed for decades in Mount Vernon. The Y that's not coming back. I don't care what y'all say, the Y is not coming back. The city don't even have the money to rehab the building. So let's start with that. People talking about we got to bring the Y back. But here you have people from Mount Vernon trying to develop the Y into not fair market rate, but apartments that people can afford. They're between $50,000 to $80,000. Not low income, but around your $50,000 to $80,000. Now the last time I looked, give me 1 minute. Median income. So the median income in Mount Vernon is $41,000. It's $41,000. That's the median income. According to Data USA, median income. So from $50,000 to $80,000. That's the median income. So now they're building something from you could be from $50,000 to $80,000. $50,000 to $80,000, and then they're going to have programs on the bottom, or programs within this building for the community that they have been doing this great work for the children. Now, I don't know why the city of Mount Vernon hasn't sold this yet to these people. So it could have been programs already developed, and the children of Mount Vernon after school could have some place to go instead of walking up and down Gramerton Avenue, looking crazy, getting in trouble. Using public safety resources. Got to have the police out there standing on the corners. Like we're in a military state. And the city has not yet approved these people. The city ain't got no money. So what are they waiting for to sell the property so they could build something that's actually beneficial to the community? Like, I really don't understand. And someone needs to explain why they're waiting so long to sell this property to a local developer, because it's a majority black city, right? And they got all these white developers coming in there building low-income housing that's not even housing people from Mount Vernon. Not even housing people from Mount Vernon. But here's something that the average working person from Mount Vernon who makes too much to live in these low housing buildings that they've been building and they've been approving, and nobody wants to live there because, unfortunately, the people that's drawn in there. Because an average working single mother couldn't even afford to live in those buildings. And a lot of times they don't even want to live in those buildings because the other tenants that they attract. Look at the Lego building down there by the train station. If I didn't know no better, I thought that was a mental health facility. Because they know they got a lot of people that have mental health needs, which puts a burden on the city services. But nobody wants to talk about that. Nobody wants to talk about the housing that they build is not even benefiting the people from Mount Vernon. Nobody wants to discuss that. But when you have a project here that wants to give housing to hardworking people of Mount Vernon, your teachers, right? Even your firemen, even your police officers that are rookies that are starting off will be able to live in this type of building. And then once their income grows, they got to move out. Go get yourself a house because go get yourself a house or something. I'm sorry, man. This right here is a mistake that they haven't sold this place to these people. So they rather keep this eyesore, and God knows what's living inside, to something that's beautiful and that will give services to the children in the community that are in need. The work that they're already doing. They're already doing this work. Look at this. They're already doing this work. Are you kidding me? And nobody, and they haven't sold the building? What is the city council doing? What is the mayor doing? What is these boards doing? And they've been going back to forth with the city for the past couple of years. The city has no money. It should have been sold by now. So if you're Mount Vernon, you need to call the mayor's office. You need to call the city council and want to know why are they not given the opportunity to have all these programs and housing for working people between 50,000, 80,000 in the city of Mount Vernon. Unless they just want to build more low-income housing on the south side. I guess that's what it's about. Because we have to think for the future. And this project is the future. This is one of the best projects that they have because ain't nobody else doing this. Ain't nobody else. And show me where other people are teaching our children science and technology and STEM. Show me. Put it on the table. And then they want to build, then they want to have it as a center for kids can come after school and continue to learn this and continue to learn skills that they'll be able to have good jobs or start their own business and be productive citizens of the city that they love. So listen, if you're in Mount Vernon, you need to call and wonder why. Because it's easy to say, well, or question, well, why all these other white developers get a chance and don't give back nothing to the community and get these tax abatements and don't do nothing for the community, and put a burden on your school system, put a burden on your public safety, put a burden on the ecosystem of the city. And then when people from the city who pay taxes to the city have been doing the work in the city for years with our children, put in a proposal, get the finances, it turns into it turns into a circus.
Circus, Afro circus, Afro circus, Afro polka dot, Afro.
That's what it turns into. So they need, and the city has no money. So check that out. And also the latest article on health and wellness, the power of onions. The power of onions for our health, especially in the Black community. So we got to look at the power of onions, especially with diabetes, which hey, Black people suffer from diabetes. I've been in a battle with diabetes for the past 10 years. And it's no joke. And a lot of Black people don't take diabetes seriously. I'm not on insulin, but it's a constant battle to eat right, exercise, and try not to be stressed. But what we put in our body, and we talk about this every Wednesday, Wellness Wednesdays. And one of the best ways to battle diabetes is what we eat. Onions have shown the promise in helping regulate blood sugar levels. The sulfur compound in onions, such as I'm going to mess the name up, methylglycosine, improve insulin sensitivity and help stabilize the blood glucose level. So for those who are managing diabetes or at risk of developing, start putting onions in your diet, and it will help you control your blood sugar. Get onions in your diet, Black folks. Get onions in your diet. Let's see what else we're talking about, what other articles we have. So New Rochelle Police Department determined that the officers did not violate any policy and procedures in shooting an unarmed Black man in the back of the head. Go figure. Go figure. My question is, what policies did they not violate? Because I really want to know. And I think the people of New Rochelle and the people in Westchester as a whole, here's one of the problems. Here's one of the problems that we have as Black people. Here's one of the problems that we have as Black people is the fact that we don't look at a problem in New Rochelle as a problem for Black Westchester. We don't look at a problem in Elmsford as a problem for blacks as a whole in Westchester. We don't look at a problem in New Rochelle as a problem as a whole of Black as Westchester. So systematically, they keep us divided, brothers and sisters. When an unarmed Black man is shot in New Rochelle, every Black community should be outraged, especially when they actually say that he didn't violate any policies and procedures. If he was unarmed and killed, something was wrong. Because something was wrong. If the shooter makes a claim that he had an officer's gun, and the officer says, no, he doesn't have my gun is in my holster, something went wrong. Use of force policies are not made for you to shoot unarmed people. I don't care what law enforcement department you are in. And again, I'll always challenge any police department, PBA, to come on this show, Black Westchester, and we could talk policy on use of force. We could talk use of force policy. And they could explain to me, where is it in policy that you could shoot and kill somebody if you thought he had a weapon? See, I'm going to let y'all in on a little secret that police are still using to this day, and for some reason they're getting over with it. We were always taught to scream, stop resisting, stop resisting, stop resisting, right? Because of the fact that people around you will hear you say, stop resisting. But what happens? So when they do the interview and you have witnesses, they say, well, the cop said he was resisting. Because that's what they heard the police say, stop resisting. So now body cameras come on the scene, technology. And now you could say stop resisting, but the camera will catch a person not resisting. But here's the problem, is the police management. They're still have a mindset that just because someone said something, that is actual facts, when the camera shows totally something different. Now, for him to say that they didn't violate no policy, this is a shame, and that police commissioner should resign. He really should resign. The people of New Rochelle does not need a police commissioner like that. They do not need a police commissioner like that. Not at all. This man should have lost his job. And Tish James, the New York State AG, not to file charges against this man is an injustice. So they made it justified to shoot a black man in the back of the head over some fruit because he was having a mental crisis. See, black people need to wake up. They really need to wake up. And black politicians, they don't say anything. They stay quiet. And I don't understand. These are black people. It could easily be your nephew or your cousin or anything like that. That could have easily been somebody related to a black politician. You know, and I really hate to say it, but sometimes it doesn't affect until it happens to them. It's the same with black cops. Same thing with black cops. They don't want to get involved in anything until they pulled over, and then they find out their little slave pass as a badge is not respected by a white officer, and he treats them like the rest of the niggas on the street. Yeah, I said it. Because it happens, and then they call me, want to know what to do. But all the other time, they don't want to be bothered, and they don't even want it. Some of them didn't even want to be associated with me until it happens to them, till a white officer shows them that they are still a nigga even with that badge. And unfortunately, it happens. So how many times are we going to sit here in Westchester? Westchester, one of the, I guess they call it so liberal, and black men are still being shot. Black men are still being shot by police, and there's no accountability. And nobody says nothing. No black elected official says anything publicly. No black elected official actually stands with the family. What's the point? You got a mentally ill black man getting killed in New Rochelle. And I think that's like the second or third. I think it's the second, third, or fourth unarmed black man being killed in New Rochelle, and no real policy change. You got the Mount Vernon Police Department, a black city, black mayor, black city council, and the DOJ comes down and said that they're violating black people's rights. In my 33 years in law enforcement, we are literally seeing on ourselves going backwards. Complete backwards. I don't care how many Negroes you have in decision-making positions. I'm sorry. What's the point of having black faces in places if we're not changing policy, training, and the culture of our police department as it relates to black people? What is the point? We got to get it right, man. They got y'all out in the atmosphere worrying about Trump, but your local politics is a mess. You're walking around stressing over Trump and your city council and your school board. Your police departments are a mess when it comes to black people. We have to get it together. We really have to get it together, brothers and sisters. Because sooner or later, it might be your child. And that's what, and that's why I don't understand why we don't make the connection. And I tell black law enforcement, just because you make a little bit of money, it could be you too. Don't get it twisted. Because they'll see the color of your skin before they see your badge. Before they see your badge. Because we are literally 4 degrees of separation from Jarrell Garrett, black law enforcement. We'd either know the victim, we know somebody that knows the victim. The victim is a family member. And in many cases, especially in New York, where there's been a long history of black cops, either off duty or in plain clothes, have been shot at, or killed by their white counterparts in law enforcement. And it has never happened in the reverse. So the 4th degree of separation is black officers are the victims. So we got to get it right, man. Especially when you have blacks in decision-making positions in these police departments. And I've said it before. I've said it before. It is so hard to get black law enforcement officers to join black law enforcement national organizations. It's like pulling teeth. It's like talking to a slave. They get scared. Their little white counterparts end up say, you don't want to join that racist organization. When you already in a racist organization, law enforcement was created around getting runaway slaves. So you're already in one, so you might as well just be conscious. They don't join black law enforcement organizations. They're scared. And this is why they don't have the consciousness and the mentality. This is why they don't have the consciousness and the mentality to do anything correctly. So we have to try to get black officers to join law enforcement organizations. Hey, sister, how you doing? I just saw your comments and I'm pasting them now. Yes. Well, I'm coming out. I'm coming out with a book based off of one of my mentors, Dr. Jimmy Bell, who was actually the former head of Jackson State University Criminal Justice Department and Sociology Department. And I'm gonna tell y'all a little secret here. You know, community policing, what they call community policing, was originally designed as extended community policing. And Dr. Bell was the person who originated it in the early 60s. And he was doing it in a small town in Florida. And he was working with one of the sheriffs out there in Florida to do this extended community policing theory. And the sheriff that he was working with lost his job or got voted out or whatever. He brought in a new one, and he kicked Dr. Bell out, and he changed it to community policing. And this is what they call today, right? He became famous off of Dr. Bell's theory, but he didn't use the entire theory of what Dr. Bell was using. So, you know, before he passed, we had this discussion, God bless him, and he gave me some of the material. You know, you're talking about something at that time in the 60s, and this was maybe late 2000s. He was like, bro, I ain't got none of that paperwork. I done moved on, you know? But I thought it was unique because what he said was, now this is the head of Jackson State, former head of Jackson State Criminal Justice Department and Sociology Department. So what he said was, when you look at policing from a European standpoint, now the 9 principles, the Pillian 9 principles, is okay. But policing is singular because our cultures are different. And it seems like today, nobody wants to have those real conversations that our cultures are different. Our DNAs are different because of our melanin. And maybe some medications don't work for Black people correctly because we have melanin, which regulates our systems. That's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother day. But they had it. If y'all watch the Kennedy thing, they had it. They started having that conversation with Kennedy about the difference, how medications work different on Black people, and they try to call Kennedy crazy. But Black doctors have been saying this for decades. Anyway, so Europeans are primary. Africans, descendants of Africans, we are extended. And why do I say that? Because you could go into a Black home and you have your aunt, your grandmama, your grandmama's sister, right? Your cousin, your 4 little brothers, everybody living in one house. We are extended. We are extended. Europeans are primary. Husband, wife. Kids come up, they get them out of the house. Primary. You cannot police Black communities from a primary mentality. It will never work. You have to have an extended community policing model where police are not having the warrior mentality. They are mostly problem solvers that actually fight crime. Because what are the issues that are in Black communities, right? Social issues. Because the primary thought of policing black communities is using the police to solve social problems. And that's why policing has never worked. This theory that they have in policing never works in the black community because they use the police to solve social ills. And until we understand that as a people, and until we call our elected officials to have commissioners and police leaders with that mindset, we will never change the black community with policing. And every year we will turn around and there'll be a young man being killed unarmed, and no accountability and no transparency. No transparency. It has to start in the police department. You can't look for the county to say we got a crisis intervention team. But first they got to be called. The question is, why didn't they call the crisis intervention team to deal with Jarrell Garris? It was already established. New Rochelle was part of the program. And that's another issue. These police departments, even if you have a crisis prevention team, they don't have to be part of it. So they still send out untrained police officers to deal with mental crisis. Police are not trained to do that. And then you don't even want to train them to do it because you say you ain't got no money. And with the high rate of mentally ill people on the streets, we are not changing how we police our communities. Now, I didn't see the whole tape. I saw the clips that they put out. Those two female officers was de-escalating him, and that detective came and escalated the situation. That's what he did. And then they say he didn't do anything wrong. Yes, he did. He didn't talk to the officers, from what I saw, to find out what the situation was. If he was a senior officer, they said he was the senior officer. He just wanted to put the nigga in cuffs instead of assessing the situation from the two officers that was on the scene. The hell with that, put the niggas in cuffs. And the fact that, from what I was told, the police department and police officers were aware of the mental stability of Mr. Garris. We act like these things are isolated incidents. They're not. Here's the article I wrote: Policing has failed the black community, a call for a public safety mindset change in 2025. This is what's actually needed. And look at all those people that have been shot by police or died in police custody. because police failed to access the situation and just dealt with it. Hey, Sister Carol, how you doing? God bless, sis. So, we got to get it right. We really have to get it right the way our communities are policed, because any day it can happen to us. Let me tell you something. They used to say in briefing, don't wear your uniform on the way home. Because, there are people that attack, people in uniform and all that. I told them I'm wearing my uniform on the way home because I don't want to get pulled over and shot by no damn state trooper. Because before he shoot me, he's going to have to see the uniform. And maybe that'd be a chance for him to have accountability, because the first question is, you ain't see the man's uniform on? So I'd be damn, I had to drive 45 minutes home and I wasn't going to wear my uniform. That was the first line of defense for me. We have seen in Westchester police get killed, black cops being shot and killed. We have seen retired officers and military veterans being shot and killed. We have seen mentally ill people being shot and killed. We have seen young students just out trying to have a good time being shot and killed. And we haven't changed policy because it's still happening. It's still happening. And now the silence is even more deafening. It's even more deafening. Nobody says anything. It has become business as usual. Business as usual. So what do we do? I don't know. But I'm going to keep giving black folks the information. I'm going to keep giving black folks the information, but you got to act on your own. Absolutely, we need to wake up. Always good to see you, sister. God bless. Jesus, I've been on here for an hour. I thought I was just going to come on for like 30 minutes. But check out Black Westchester, man. Check out the articles on blackwestchester.com. Please check the articles out and leave feedback, leave comments, and on Sunday, we'll be here. Black Westchester Magazine, the People Before Politics show will be on Sunday. And Monday, we're going to have former Congressman Jamal Bowman to kick off Black History Month with the first elected congressman. He made it through 2 terms. Brother Bowman got through 2 terms. And then I don't know what happened. Black folks felt they don't need a black Congress no more. I don't know. Y'all tell me. Y'all tell me what happened. So we're kicking it off. And that's on Monday. Wednesday, I think it's Wednesday. I got to check my text. Well, Wednesdays is Wellness Wednesdays, and we're going to do we're going to move Wellness Wednesdays. We're going to have Wellness Wednesdays. Then we're going to have a special on Thursday with Dr. Cedric. We're going to still do Wellness Wednesdays. I'm going to talk about some food stuff. And and on Thursday, we're going to have a special show on Thursdays. Or I just might bring in on the morning tea. But check us out. And also, it's not a live video, but it goes up on YouTube on Tuesday. It's Balling with a Budget. We talk about scents and colognes and how to smell good without spending all your money. You know, black folks is always out here spending $400, $500 for cologne and they don't have to do that, man. You could smell like $1 million and keep your $1 million in your pocket, man. So we talk about nice scents, man. Ladies, you could watch too if you want to buy your loved one, man, your boyfriend, your husband, your aunt, your uncle, or your coworker. You know, your coworker, a job. You know, you ain't spending a lot of money. You know, there's those that smell good, and you ain't gotta spend all this money. You know, all this money. So I want to thank y'all, man, for watching. You know, God bless. God bless. We really trying to we're really trying to change it up and give black people and everybody, not just black people, you know, give people an opportunity to hear news with the black point of view, man. Hear a different opinion. You know, and that's what it's all about. So have a blessed weekend. Have a blessed weekend. Step into the weekend with prayers and salutations and affirmations. You know, then on Monday we're gonna start it off. So peace and blessings, and thank everybody. I thank everybody that's watching the show. And please, if you're on YouTube or follow us on YouTube, definitely follow us on YouTube and subscribe so y'all will get notifications that when we're live. All right, love y'all, man, and talk to y'all soon.
Start your day with insight and inspiration. Morning Tea with Black Westchester's Damon K. Jones, where life, culture, community, and faith come together. Please subscribe, follow, and share Black Westchester. It's the news.